Hi guys, welcome back to the Oracle Integration Cloud Training Program. So this video is part of lesson 3, and here we are going to look at the CSF key in ERP, how to register a CSF key in ERP. Then we will look at the demo, how to import supplier into the ERP via the VDI approach. We will use here the ERP adapter, and then how to configure a callback to get a callback once the import supplier job will be completed into the ERP. So let's have a look. CSF key in ERP. A CSF key must be created to subscribe to events in Oracle ERP Cloud. If you have a requirement wherein you wanted to subscribe the events from the ERP, you must create a CSF key into the ERP via the Oracle SOA Composer. Even if you wanted to receive a callback of a load job, then also this is the prerequisite that a CSF key must be registered in a SOA Composer. This key is required by the event handler framework when it invokes the integration. The credentials of the integration are managed by the CSF key. So this CSF key is nothing, it is a combination of username, password of your integration cloud, which should be registered into the ERP SOA Composer. CSF key is created by Oracle SOA Composer. This information is required before you create a CSF key. The Oracle Integration Cloud Identity Domain, which is your IDCS domain, the identity domain, which is the unique identity of your OIC instance. Then Oracle Integration Cloud Service Instance Name, Oracle Integration Cloud username, and the password. So the CSF key is the combination of the identity domain and the service instance which you will get from the Oracle Integration Cloud. How to get identity domain and service instance name in order to create a CSF key. So you have to log in into the OIC, click on the name initials from the top right corner of the page and click on the about. Once you click on this about, you will see this about dialog box where you will see the identity domain. So IDCS hyphen, this is the unique key, and then service instance name is the instance name of your OIC instance. So now CSF key will become the identity domain and then service instance. So this is the unique combination which will have the IDCS and then my OIC. You need to give this while you register the CSF key in the SOA Composer. How to register a CSF key in Oracle Composer? You have to log in into the SOA Composer using URL https:// the domain name of ERP and /SOA/composer. Once you log in into this, you will see a manage security button on top of the page, the right hand side, and click on this manage security, from where a dialog box will be opened where you need to register, enter the CSF key. The CSF key will be the combination of your IDCS, your identity domain, plus your service instance name. Then it will ask the username, wherein you need to enter the Oracle Integration Cloud username. For example, if your username is demo user, you need to enter demo user. And then password will be your OIC password of the same user which you will enter, and then confirm password. Here you see this is the dialog box which will be opened while you register the CSF key. There you need to, for information, the CSF key which will be the service, the identity URL plus my OIC is the service instance name, the username, password, and then confirm password, and then click on a register button. If somehow your password has been changed, so you have to update the credentials regularly. You have to again log in into the SOA Oracle Composer, enter the same CSF key which you have entered earlier, username, and then enter the updated password and click on update. If the password has been changed and you have not updated the CSF key, then the callback or the events you have subscribed will not come to your integration cloud. So let's go to the integration cloud first, and I will show you how to get this, the service instance name plus identity key, and then I will jump to the SOA composer to show you where to register this CSF key, and then we will go ahead and we'll try to create an integration wherein I will show you how to load supplier into the ERP via the VDI approach, and how to create another integration which will be treated as a callback integration. So let's get started. First of all, I will log in into my OIC instance. Just allow me a minute. So I have just logged in into the OIC. Click on this and then click on a about. Once you click on a about, here you see this is your identity domain, and then this is your service instance name. So this will be your CSF key. So just append this service instance name with the identity domain. Let me just take this and then close it. Now let me just log in into the SOA composer here on a different screen. So here I have just logged in into the Oracle SOA composer, wherein you see the manage security button. Click on this manage security button. Here you see the button has the domain, the dialog box has been opened, wherein you need to enter your domain plus my OIC, the identity domain plus the service instance name. Here you will enter the demo user and then password, and then click on a register. You cannot see this once this will be registered, but if you wanted to update it, you can update it. I already have a CSF key already registered into this, so I'm not going ahead and clicking on register, and then I'm just closing this pop-up. This is how you can register your CSF key. This is one of the mandatory steps if you want to subscribe events from the ERP, or you wanted to have a callback. Now let's go ahead and create our integration to load supplier. So here the use case will be, I have one FTP location, and on that FTP location I have a source file. So I will first use my FTP connection to list all the files. If there are 5 files, I will list the file. Then I will make a for loop, and in that for loop I will read the file one by one, and the file might be of 1 GB or so. So I will first download that file into that staging, and then again the next step I will use the stage file operation, and I will use stage file read file in chunks operation. Then under this I will create a FBDI file which will be used to load supplier into that ERP. Once the file will be created successfully, then after this read file in chunks, I will create a property file which is a mandatory file. So this property file has a certain format which I have shown in my previous video. You have to create that particular format. Once the file properties file will be created, I will create a zip file. This zip file will have the FBDI file plus the properties file. Once your zip file will be ready, I will call my ERP adapter to load the supplier, and I will give the zip file reference there. This is how I will create the load supplier integration, and then I will create another integration which will be treated as a ERP callback. So first let's click on a create button, and here I will use this schedule orchestration pattern and click on a select. Here I'll say give an integration name load suppliers ERP learning, and then click on the create button. Now I have a FTP connection, FTP connect. Here I'll say list files and then next. Here I will choose this list file operation, and then I will choose I have a source file on my Udemy ERP.in, and here I just put start.csv. So I wanted to list all the file having CSV extension. Next, and then done. Save your integration. I will just change the layout. Here I will make a for loop which will be used to loop over the files. For you have to select your action, or for loop, and here from the list response file list load more, and then put this file to repeating element, and here loop over files current file, and then click on a create button. Now my loop has been created. So here under this loop I will use the FTP connection again to download the file into staging. Download file, and then next, here I will choose this download file operation, and then use this ASCII. I will use this /home. I will take this in, but I will map this directory, input directory, from the current file, and file name also I'll just take abc.csv, and then here download directory I will choose /fbdi. So this input directory and then file name I will map into the mapper which will come from the loop, and then /fbdi is the staging location where I will download the file. Next, and then done. Save your integration. On this, just added this expression, download request, and under this current file I will choose this directory and then file name to download. Validate it, and then close your mapper. So my file has been will be downloaded onto the stage. So after the file will be downloaded, I will use the stage file operation, stage file activity, to read the file into the chunks. So here I'll say read file data in chunk, and then next. Here I'll say read file in segments. I can choose, I can give the file name or the directory to read from, or I can choose the file reference. Click yes, edit expression, and here you will see the download file response which will give the reference. So file reference, just stop it over here and then save. Exit expression builder, and then next. So here my source file in the CSV format. So I will choose the CSV and then next. So here I have to choose the sample schema, and this schema will be, so this sample file will be of your source file. So let me just take the file, and I have file which will be like source, supplier source. I'll say supplier and then suppliers. So I have this action, supplier name, alternate name, org type. So all these will be in your source file. Click next, and here finish. By default, it will read 200 records at a time. Finish. Now here you see this is the chunk. Now in this scope, I wanted to create my FBDI file. So for this, I will choose stage file activity to create a FBDI file on the staging location. Here I'll say create supplier file, and then next. on the next screen, I will choose write file, and here I'll give the file name, and file name I will take like this thing, .csv. So I will create this file, CSV file, and then exit expression builder. And here I will give the directory where I wanted to create the file, and I will say /fbd supplier file, and then save it. I will save it somewhere because I need to give it later as well, and then exit expression builder. Next, and then I wanted to create a CSV file. Next screen, and I will choose the file which I wanted to create, which I have showcased you in the previous video, the FBDI file format. So here I can say ERP supplier. I'll copy this and I'll say ERP suppliers. So here you see there are 153 field, right? 156. So I'll just make this mark all as optional. And here I will choose this use first row as a column header. Here you see, so there are 156 files. So I need to make one field as a mandatory. So here in the integration cloud, there's a little issue. I'm not able to select this. Let me see the mandatory. I'm not able to select it. Yeah, mandatory. So I have made one field as a mandatory here, and all are optional. Click on the next button and then finish. Let me just save my integration. Now I need to do a mapping from source to target. So I have this read data into chunks, read response, and then suppliers. Similarly, ERP suppliers, this thing, and then here you see C1 is the only mandatory field and all are optional. So here you have to see which field should map with which field. So I just mapping the fields like this, action to C1. So here I will do the mapping as per my requirement, but yes, you can do the mapping as per your business requirement. So here I will do org type to supplier type to C9. And then 2, 1. Okay, and at the end, so I will just make this column as a hard coded, and here I'll just put the end, which is the mandatory. Okay, validate your mapper. Let me just try to filter it out and let me see what all fields I have mapped here. Okay, yeah. So this field has been, okay, so I just need to map supplier to ERP supplier as well. So action to C1 and then supplier name to C2, code type to C6 and then supplier type to C7, relation to C9 and then permanent to C13 and then country to C21 and then last is C56. Okay, validate and then close your mapper. So this is the field which I have mapped as per my requirement. Now this scope will create a FBDI file. So let me just check if I have chosen the append to existing file. It is important to check this option. It is because all the records should go in a single file. So if you have more than 200 records, so this option will create the entries into a single file. Save this. Now after this, I will again use this stage file and I will create a property file. Create property file and then next. Here I will write a file and I will choose the file name as POS supplier.properties. Save it and then exit expression builder. I will choose the specified file directory and I will use the same directory which I have given during the FBDI file creation. Here, exit and then click on the next. I will use this CSV file and here I will choose the sample file. Here I will say property and then properties. I'll choose this use first row as a column header. Okay. And it will have the 8 fields. Next and then finish. Save your integration. Now here I need to put the entry. So here, as I mentioned in my previous slide, the first 3 parameter will be the job path and this will be the job name and the C3 will be the zip file name. So here, let me just take the path, the job definition name. I'll just make C1 and then create target node. Here, I'll just make an entry. Then under C2, I will choose the job name, which is my import suppliers. And here, the file name will be like, I'll just take it. I'll create a file like POS supplier. So I will create a zip file with name POS supplier underscore date and time. Okay. So hence I am taking this POS supplier only. And here I'll create this. These are the parameters list. So I'll create a new here because this is the value which I need to give here. Okay. So this has been not okay. POS suppliers. Okay. That will go n value n in the second parameter and here I'll just give hash null. So in rest 3 parameters I will give the same. So this step will create a necessary property file. Now my property file is ready. The C1 will have the job definition name. This is the job name. In the second, job name. The third will be the POJ suppliers validator. And rest file will be my parameters value. Close. Now till the steps, I have created a FBDI file as well as the property file. Under this for loop, I will use this stage file again to create the zip file. So here I'll say zip file, and then next. On the next screen, I will use this zip files operation. Specify the zip file name. So here I will use this suppliers. I will choose concat function, and here I'll give the hard-coded string POJ supplier, and then I will choose the date time. So current date time. Okay, so there will be a function date to current date time. Okay, and then dot zip. Let me just check it. Okay, so this is the file name which you wanted to create, and then exit expression builder. You have to save it and then exit. Specify the directory to zip. So here I'll give the same directory where I have created my FBDI file and the property file. So in this directory I have created. So here it is asking which directory you wanted to zip, and here specify the output directory. So here I'll say the zip and save it. So here the zip file will be created, and then next, and then done. Save it. Now till this step, my zip file will be ready. The last step is used to call your ERP connection. Load suppliers, and then next. So here you choose, you can use query operation, you can use import bulk data or send file to ERP. So I'll choose this import bulk data into the ERP cloud to import the data via FBDI. In the next screen. On the next screen, you have to choose the job which you wanted to use to import. So I will choose import supplier. So from here, you need to choose your job which you wanted to use to load your data. So my job name is import supplier. So here, from here you need to choose import suppliers, and from here you also see your job name and the package name. So job name and then package name can be extracted from this screen. And then click on the next button. On the response, if you need a callback, then you have to use this enable callback. On this screen, you will not see the integration name and then version, but in the previous version of the ERP adapter, you had to given the callback integration name and then version. But Oracle has simplified the ERP adapter, and here you don't need to give the integration name and then version. So while you configure the callback integration, you have to choose the same job which you have selected here, like import supplier. I will show you this one as well. Now enable callback and then click on the next button and then finish. Save your integration, and here you need to give two, you need to map two things only. One is the file reference, the zip file reference which you have created along with the file name here. So here you see the zip file and zip response, and here ICS file, and then you need to give file reference here, and under properties you need to provide your file name to file. That's it. Now this is your integration is completed. You need to activate your integration, and let's configure the callback integration. Save your integration here. Just enable the tracking parameter. Start time. And then save. Save your integration and then complete. Let's activate the integration. Now the integration will be activated. It has been activated. Refresh it. I will disable my previous callback integration because it is from the same job. Okay. Now create here app driven orchestration. If you wanted to configure the callback, you have to choose the app driven orchestration pattern. From here, I'll choose, give the integration name ERP callback supplier. And then create. From the first screen, from the trigger point, you have to choose your ERP adapter. Now here you see supplier callback, and then next. From here, I choose the receive callback message upon completion of FBDI bulk import job submitted via another integration, which means this integration will handle the callback integration, and it will send a callback once the FBDI bulk import will be completed, which we have submitted via the another integration. So here, select bulk data import process. You have to choose the same job which you have selected on your previous integration. Import suppliers, and then next. Make sure here status of the import job is import suppliers only, and then finish. Save your integration. Here I will, so this callback, and in this callback you will have the zip file that will be as a log file and some status as well. So I will send my log file to the FTP. So here I will choose my FTP connection, FTP connect, and here let me open here log file. You can use this write file, and here my directory slash home OPC out, and here I'll say log file dot zip, and then next, and here no, it is because that will be a zip file, so I select no, and then next, and then done. Save your integration, and then do a mapping here. So under this ICS file, you can provide the, here you see on event ERP import bulk data event. So under ICS file, you have this file reference, put this file reference to file reference, And under this properties, you need to give the file name here. That's it. And here you see it send the summary status, document ID, and with different data. So you can use this data to send into the notification, validate, and then close your integration. Now your callback integration has been configured. Let me just enable a tracking here, and you can put this summary status, then document ID. Save your integration. Save your integration and then close. Now I am done with both the integration. Now I will run my scheduled integration. The file will be loaded into the ERP. Upon upload, it will send a callback. So let me just activate both the integration now. So I have already done. I have already activated the previous integration. Okay. Now both the integrations are registered. Now load supplier ERP learning. Let's just try to submit this integration. I already have one file onto my FTP location. Click submit and submit now. Go to the monitoring section and see your integration should be completed here. So here you see load supplier ERP learning integration is completed now, and within a minute you will get a callback as well. So you need to try refreshing it. But yes, the integration, the data might will not import because of invalid data. But yes, this is how you can do your bulk import into the ERP. That's way. So here you see the load file to interface, import suppliers, update supplier keyword, upload interface error, and job file. So some status will be in the succeeded and few will be in the errors. It is because the file which I have imported does not have the valid data. But yes, your data has been loaded. So you need to go into the tools and then the schedule process, which will open this console from where you need to see your file status. Now here you see you have received a callback, ERP callback supplier learning. So just open this integration and here you will see that succeeded. And if you open this, it says error. It is because the data was not valid. You can see the log file should be there. If you can open the view activity stream, here you can see message dequeued. So this is the data which will come, the submit status error, document ID, and then job path, the request ID, each and everything. Here, this is the file reference. If you open your FTP location, you will see the log file. Let me just open it. So here you see the file.zip has been capped on your FTP server. So you can open this zip file and you can see the different files under this, which will be used to track the status of your job. So this is how you can use FBDI approach to load bulk data into the ERP, and you can configure your callback integration to get a callback. So thanks. Bye bye. If you have any question, let me know. Thank you. Bye bye.